Welcome back to the channel for another video. Today we're back talking about Wrexham Football Club as always. We have got a big video today. We're going to be previewing our return to the Championship on Saturday at home to QPR. We're going to be bringing you a loan watch, talking about all the players that left Wrexham in the summer transfer window on loan to see how they're doing at their clubs that they've joined. And we're going to be talking about a massive bit of transfer news regarding a once incredible youngster in world football. There's plenty to be talking about in today's video, so if you would like to see more Wrexham content, if you'd like to see consistent Wrexham content, make sure to drop a like. Of course, let's go for 500 likes on today's video. And more importantly, if you see you're not subscribed by the red subscribe button down below, please consider doing so. We're on the road to 30,000 subscribers, and I would just like to say a massive thank you to everyone that has supported the channel further. Of course, over the course of the League One season last year and going into this Championship campaign, it massively means a lot by clicking the first link in the description down below. So yeah, I cannot thank you enough for all the support you've shown the channel. Without further ado, let's get previewing our return to the Championship after the international break. So as we approach our third home game of the Championship season, there'll be a lot of excitement and a lot of hunger, not only in the Wrexham fan base, but in the Wrexham squad and the Wrexham management team to go out there and get a big 3 points, which I think we need at home in the Championship because we haven't so far. It's our first game back in 2 weeks, and we're coming off the back of obviously the previous 2 games with 2 really good wins. We've beaten Preston North End away in the Carabao Cup. We were 2-1 down at half time. We've come back. Kiefer Moore's netted the winner in the last minute. That's obviously built some momentum and built some confidence in the squad going into our last league game away at Millwall before the international break, which we don't have to talk too much on that. It was a 2-0 win. It was an emphatic performance from Wrexham all across the pitch, putting 2 goals past Millwall in their own backyard, keeping a clean sheet, and overall, in terms of away games and first wins of the season, it doesn't get much better and it doesn't get much tougher than going to the Den and beating Millwall, because they had a good season last year, finishing just outside the playoffs. To go there and get a big 3 points is really big. And if we're going into this game at home to QPR, yes, it was an international break, but there's not obviously a whole host of players that went on international duty. They'll have all stayed back at the club, trained. The momentum and sort of the confidence will be high in the Wrexham camp. But if we're looking at our opponents first, QPR, they'll be coming into this game sort of on a similar form to Wrexham, obviously in the start of the Championship season. They sit 18th in the table, I think 3 places below us, but we sit on the same amount of points. It's just goal difference, which really does separate the 2 teams. And there is emphasis on really, because they have had such a weird start to the season. And if we're going off form, I think it is going to be an even game at the Racecourse Ground on Saturday. If we're looking at QPR, in their games previously, they've defeated Charlton in the last game for the international break. 3-1 win. It's a brilliant win. You're thinking that must sort of been confidence and momentum from the last league game they played. But no, they went to Coventry City in their second away game of the season. They lose 7-1, which again, for that in your third game of the season, to lose 7-1 is just ridiculous. But I think it's even more crazy that they've gone back into the next league game and beaten Charlton Athletic, who have had a good summer in terms of recruitment. They've got Nathan Jones. They'll be a team in terms of momentum that will be going into this season with good momentum. To beat them 3-1, seeing the full-time celebrations, you'd have thought, they'd have won the first 4 out of 4. So it's a really weird start to the season for QPR, and that's why we're going into this. And me personally, I really do not know what to expect. Their away form is dire going into obviously this game against Wrexham, but their home form is just quite good. So I really don't know what to expect. They've got the quality in the squad, but again, it's just about what version of QPR turns up in this game, because so far this season, we've seen 2 completely different sides turn up. But I think more importantly, we're obviously going to be looking at the negatives for QPR, because we want to see that from a Wrexham point of view. If we can catch them on a bad day, we can put 2 or 3 past them, no problem at all, because they've showed cracks in their side, they've showed weaknesses, and if Wrexham can obviously get that first goal, which I think is going to be vital in this game, whoever scores that first goal, I think goes on to win this game of football. So if we can get that, I think that's just going to obviously kick any momentum they had going into this game. Their game style, I think their game plan will go out the window, because I think that's what happened away at Coventry City. They just lost 7-1 and it just seems to be goal after goal. So yeah, if we can catch them on a bad day, I think we could put 2 or 3 past them and get 3 points in the bag. However, on the flip side, we always have to look at the flip side. The confidence in the QPR camp is going to be sky high. So again, like I said, I don't know what to expect from QPR going into this, because there's been 2 different starting 11s, not on name wise, but 2 different 11s that have come into these games and performed on a level, because the level they performed away at Coventry City, horrific. The performance against Charlton Athletic, brilliant. So we really don't know what to expect. but I don't think we're going to see a QPR team that are going to go into this Wrexham game and get 7 put past them. I think it's going to be an equal game in terms of quality, chances, etc. So I do think it's going to be a good game. It'll be end to end. There'll be plenty of chances for either team. It's just about who can put the ball in the back of the net. QPR are coming into this game obviously as the away team, and last season in the Championship away from home, QPR were absolutely brilliant. They had the 6th best away form in the Championship last year, and I know it's early on in the Championship season and in the season in general, but they've conceded 12 goals in 3 games in all competitions, which I think Wrexham should be highlighting this and should be exploiting this, because they've been horrific away from home, and it seems like the early goal that they concede in the games they've played away from home has completely killed all momentum. We've seen them in the Carabao Cup. They were 2-0 up at half time. They lost the game 3-2, so there's definitely cracks in the QPR team, and I think cracks especially in the QPR defence, which is something we should exploit and something which we should put heavy pressure on. Of course, Kiefer Moore getting those chances, he'll be going into this with a lot of confidence. Lewis O'Brien, I think even him, obviously going forward, he scored in the game away at Millwall. His confidence going forward is sky high at the minute. The wing-backs putting plenty of chances into the box. I think this is something that Wrexham should be looking at and really highlighting, because I think if we can kill them early off, maybe take the lead 1-0 inside the first 15-20 minutes, I think we should have a really good game and a really good performance to get our first home win of the season. If we're looking at QPR and players to watch, I think it's Richard Kone. Wrexham fans, we know all about Kone from last season in League One, obviously when we went toe-to-toe for the automatic promotion race with Wycombe Wanderers. 18 goals in League One last season. It looks as if Kone has carried on his form from last season into the Championship campaign. He's got 2 goals in his last 2 games, and he's going to be looking to add to that tally, obviously against Wrexham on Saturday. Let's hope he doesn't. We did have obviously quite a couple of good games last season at home on the opening day of the season, and I don't think he featured in the away game that we did win 1-0, but in the home game he didn't look anything special, and I'm sure if the defence is on it, we can pocket him. Looking at the Wrexham point of view now and our point of view going into this fixture, it's going to be a good game for Wrexham in terms of confidence. We'll have so much confidence going into this, and I think the players are going to put in a really good performance. I think Parky won't have to tell them. They're going off the back of a really good win away at Millwall. It should be sort of up to them to decide what versions of them turn up, and it would be up to them to see whether they really want this first home win of the season, which I'm sure they all do, but it's just about how hungry they are to make a statement to the Wrexham fans, because the players obviously know we're good enough, we can perform at the top end of the Championship table. We're coming into this Wrexham team to take them and to take the ambitions from mid-table to playoffs. That's what they want to do, and it all starts at home to QPR on Saturday, and they need to put in a good performance, because there's no better time to obviously kickstart some really good momentum going into the next games than on Saturday against QPR, because it's a good opportunity to get 3 points. It's a good opportunity to put in a really good all-round team performance, because like I said, there's cracks in the QPR team. Their momentum will be a bit up and down, the confidence will be a bit up and down, but for Wrexham, we should be going into this and wanting to kill them off early doors. And obviously I don't think there needs to be much said about us not winning at home this season. We should have beaten Sheffield Wednesday, where we messed up the 2-goal lead. We probably should have got something out of West Brom. It wasn't a good performance, but the chances were there. Third time lucky, we need to go out there and get a big 3 points, which I'm sure will be the aim and the ambition for the majority of this season for our home games at the racecourse. If we're looking on the injury front for Wrexham, we're still unsure what the situation is regarding Nathan Broadhead. We saw him pull out of the international break on the international camp for Wales when they played away at Kazakhstan and Canada. This was due to a lack of fitness for Nathan Broadhead, so he's rehabilitated, and let's hope he can be back in contention, because I think give him a couple more games in this starting 11, he's going to be a great player for us. If we're looking as well, Windass, he's not going to be in this squad. Danny Ward, he's obviously out for a long period of time. George Thomason, it's unknown. Jay Rodriguez, the situation with him has not been spoken on much, so we really don't know that situation. But there's some big news. Ollie Rathbone is back in contention to be in the Wrexham squad, and it looks like Ollie Rathbone is going to take that last spot in the 25-man squad, because Phil Parkinson has said he's made massive progress and really good progress on getting back match fully fit. So I think Rathbone, more than others, is going to be in contention for the league squad on Saturday. We don't know if he is going to be yet, but in terms of Phil Parkinson's interview, we've listened to it. He seems to be speaking really promisingly on the situation of Ollie Rathbone, so I think it can be a near return expected for him. So yeah, let me know your predictions in the comment section down below. Do you think Wrexham are going to go out there and get a big 3 points? Let me know your score prediction, and if you are correct, I'll be very impressed. Moving on to a loan watch now, and moving on to the loan watch, which we did a lot of last season, but I haven't done one yet this season in obviously the Championship season. We're going to be starting off first with the main man, Paul Mullin. Mullin played 76 minutes in Wigan's 2-2 draw away at Lincoln City last weekend. Mullin got on the score sheet in emphatic fashion, getting on the end of that Sam Tickle kick upfield. His distribution is a joke, by the way. Sam Tickle is a goalkeeper that I've been a massive fan of for the past couple of months, of course, since the start of last season in League One. He's a really highly regarded goalkeeper, and I'm so surprised that he hasn't got to move higher up the English pyramid, because his distribution is a joke. His shot stopping and just all-round goalkeeping ability is incredible. He's in the England under-21 squad. I don't know how he's still playing for a lower-end League One side like Wigan Athletic, but his kick upfield to Paul Mullin, incredible. Mullin got on the end of it, showed great composure, rounded the goalkeeper, and sort of showed that golden touch that he did have at Wrexham over his time at the club, and really showed to the Wigan fans that have been sort of slating him on social media, I still have it and I can be your top goal scorer this season. And let's hope it's the first of many for Mullin. It's his second league goal in 7 games, but his third goal all round for Wigan Athletic this season, so I think there's many more to come for Paul Mullin in a Wigan shirt, and let's hope that can be the case. Seb Revan we're going to be talking about next now. I think Revan has really impressed for Burton Albion so far in League One. They've not got many points on the board. I think they've got 1 since Seb Revan has signed, but personnel wise I think Revan has put in some really good performances on that left hand side. I'm happy for Revan because he's gone to a team and he's gone to a setup where he's going to be playing so much. He's going to be regarded as one of Burton's key players this season, given his Championship experience for Rotherham United and given his experience and his games played for Wrexham last season in League One and in all competitions. He's in a squad where, like I said, he's going to get regular game time. He's still relatively young. He showed some good signs for Wrexham. I think in terms of him getting game time and regular game time, it's only going to further improve his attributes and improve his game that we did see in a Wrexham shirt. So he's going to be playing week in, week out in yellow and black for Burton Albion. He's gone to a team that have different ambitions to Wrexham. Obviously Wrexham are a team that are obviously competing at the top end of the table wherever league we're in, but Burton Albion, they'll be looking to survive the drop. I'm sure it's a challenge that Revan is really going to relish and excite him. Tom O'Connor, now we saw Tom O'Connor depart on deadline day to Peterborough United in League One. Now O'Connor did actually play the full 90 minutes on his Peterborough United debut away at Huddersfield Town. They lost the game 3-1, but I'm sure personnel wise O'Connor will be really happy to be in a team where he's going to be playing week in, week out, and I'm sure that 90 minutes will do him the world of good. It's good to see that he's gone to a team obviously like Peterborough United, who are struggling at the bottom end of the League One table. For him to go there, he's obviously going to be viewing this and thinking, I'm going to be playing week in, week out, and he deserves to be because he's a very good player. He just wasn't going to get the game time at Wrexham, so he's gone to a team where he's going to be playing regularly. And likewise hopefully with Jacob Mendy, who has also gone on loan to Peterborough United. He's joined Tom O'Connor in the adventure down to League One. Mendy also started on his league debut away at Huddersfield Town. He came off in the 64th minute, but it would be great to see Mendy get a run of games at just a League One side, and I've always been interested to see what would happen with Jacob Mendy over the course of the transfer window. There was plenty of clubs in for him. I thought personally he was going to get a League 2 move, but even better, he's gone to a League 1 team. He started in his first game, which I think Darren Ferguson is sort of showing to the Peterborough fans and sort of giving that verdict to the Wrexham fans that, look, I've brought these in to be playing week in, week out for my team, which I'm really happy with. And I think there is a good player in Jacob Mendy. That injury away at Colchester United at the back end of the League 2 season has sort of just killed sort of any regular game time he was going to get in this Wrexham team. But overall, it's a good move for him, and I'm excited to see how the duo does do at the Posh. Moving on to transfer news. Now, the Daily Mail are reporting that Wrexham are weighing up a move for former Tottenham Hotspur attacking midfielder Dele Alli after he was recently released by Como over in Italy. Yes, Wrexham are reportedly weighing up a move for Dele Alli, the former Tottenham Hotspur player that was taking the Premier League and taking the world by storm less than 10 years ago, and is still 29 years old. He's at a stage of his career where he's back in the right headspace and he's back wanting to be playing regularly for a team in England. Now, I just would like to say before we get talking further into this signing, I think as things stand, it's an unlikely signing because I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think that Wrexham are going to take the gamble on Dele Alli because obviously all the off the stuff pitch, which we're going to be talking about, I don't think it's going to happen. We've obviously got one space left in the 25-man squad, which is likely to be taken up by Ollie Rathbone, and I can't see anyone dropping out. But in the event that it does happen, in the event that there's something really crazy happens behind the scenes and Dele Alli is a Wrexham player in the next coming weeks, we're going to be talking about him. I think Dele Alli as a person doesn't need much introduction, and especially as a player, he does not need any introduction to English football fans at home watching this, because he at one point was one of the best youngsters, not only in the Premier League, but in world football. He was taking the Premier League by storm at club level and international level. And if we're looking at his first 3 years that he did spend at Tottenham Hotspur in North London, he registered 81 goals and assists. Yes, in 3 years of football, coming off the back of that good season in League One for MK Dons, making that step up 2 leagues to the biggest league in world football, to register, I think it was like over 25 goals and assists in his first season, is just ridiculous. And I don't think, for me personally, of course I was obviously old enough to remember his time and old enough to appreciate his qualities, I don't think I've ever seen bigger hype around a youngster in English football in Dele Alli in those years that he spent at Tottenham Hotspur, and rightly so. He was a joke. He was actually a joke. He was a pleasure to watch on Match of the Day week in, week out. Obviously, we were at Wrexham Football Club. We were obviously watching the games at the racecourse, so you'd come home, you'd see him on Match of the Day just producing a moment of magic every single week, getting a goal, getting an assist, and just being that playmaker and playing football like he was playing on the street or in obviously a playground with his mates. And that obviously was a shame because his career at the top flight sort of ended in 2019, and there are reasons behind this. It was injuries, of course, had a massive impact, and more importantly, mental health struggles and trauma from his recent years sort of caught up to him. If you haven't already, I would totally recommend watching the overlap interview that he did do with Gary Neville. It's heartbreaking. It's not really a nice watch to see what he did go through, especially considering that trauma sort of affected him in the prime years of his footballing career. And it is heartbreaking because he's a player that had the world at his feet, and then everything just sort of declined in his career. And I think there were a lot of people that, questioned what happened to Dele Alli and questioned his sort of commitment to football and his commitment to his lifestyle before that interview did come out. But after it did come out, I think he's just caught the hearts of the whole football nation. And if we're looking at Dele Alli, he would be coming into Wrexham as that sort of attacking midfielder that would create those chances. But I think more importantly, it is just about him getting back enjoying football. It's about him going to an environment where he's going to be enjoying his football week in, week out, enjoying going to training, which I don't think he has had over the past couple of years. He needs to be playing regularly. He's 29 years old. These are the years where he should be playing at the top of his game. He peaked sort of around 19, 20, 21, 22 years old, and ever since then it's gone downhill for Dele Alli. So he's left Como over in Italy under Cesc Fabregas because he wants to be playing regularly. I think that is a really promising sign for Dele Alli. I don't mind if he comes to Wrexham or not. I love Dele Alli as a player. If he goes to Birmingham, I'll be very happy, because given what he's gone through in his career already, I would be so happy to see Dele Alli just back in English football, enjoying himself and seeing the version that we saw of him in 2017, in 2018, in 2019, because if he gets his headspace back into football and back into playing the game that he once loved many years ago, he is going to be a ridiculous player, because the talent, the quality is there. It's just about, can he get that good move where he's going to have a manager that believes in him, where he's going to be playing week in, week out, because that's it for Dele Alli. He needs game time, he needs to be in a good environment, and if we could see just 30% of the player Dele Alli was at Tottenham Hotspur, he will be more than a useful asset in this Wrexham team. It's a big if though, because it's a gamble whether his headspace is back in football. He's wanting to get that move, of course, elsewhere. It's just whether he's ready, of course, given everything he's gone through over the past couple of years. So if we are to see Dele Alli in a Wrexham shirt, I'll be happy personally, because growing up, he was one of the most exciting and joyful players to watch. So yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I can sort of imagine a lot of you will be saying no, but again, let me know your thoughts. So if you did enjoy, make sure to drop a like, make sure to get down there and click the red subscribe button if you haven't already. We're on the road to 30,000 subscribers, and let's hope we can get a big 3 points in 48 hours time at home to QPR. Let's hope the racecourse is rocking. Until the next video, take care guys, up the town.